Authorities in Texas are now arresting migrants who illegally swim across the Rio Grande into Eagle Pass. Governor Greg Abbott signed a law allowing police to arrest and charge people suspected of entering the country illegally. Additional razor wire has also been put at Eagle Pass crossing in defiance of the Biden administration, who issued a cease and desist order. This, as Biden cabinet members will be hosting their Mexican counterparts in Washington today to address the border, as Democratic mayors speak out over how the crisis is plaguing their cities. Watch.
We are also a city right now that is facing a humanitarian crisis and a fiscal crisis unlike anything we've seen in the last 25 years. And that is a result of what we know is the ongoing influx of migrant arrivals who are seeking asylum.
So what is Congress going to do? Meanwhile, lawmakers on Capitol Hill fight over the lack of a full-term spending bill, keeping the proper resources from reaching our border. Texas Congressman Chip Roy with some strong words on the House floor yesterday. Watch.
We are sitting here doing the same thing again. It is Groundhog Day in the House chamber all the time, every day. Yet again, spending money we don't have.
So today's meeting in D.C. is supposed to begin at noon today. Obviously, this is something that we got to deal with. Texas law finally into effect, and it doesn't look like the governor is going to change course on this, guys.
Yeah, you've been down there a lot. You've heard these stories. And yesterday we had a chance to hear some of these stories because two moms were in front of Congress. They were upset that Mayorkas didn't show up for the hearing, but they talked about their stories. One mom said that her daughter had, and it's not, this is Josephine, but another mom, Tammy Noble, said her daughter was in her own bedroom and was raped and then strangled with a cord by an MS-13 gang member who's here illegally, and said she had just turned 20 years old a few days ago. And she said, I got the news that no mother ever wants to hear, that your daughter is dead.
And this woman, Josephine Dunn, her daughter died from fentanyl, which we know coming across the southern border. Listen.
In my humble opinion, Mr. Mayorkas's border policies is partially responsible for my daughter's death. His wide open border policy allows massive quantities of poisonous fentanyl into our country. My family is broken. My heart is broken. And he couldn't even be here to face me today. Whatever he's doing that is more important than facing me today, I don't know what that could be.
Oh, you're hearing stories, and it's not we're looking back and saying, Matt, there was a tragedy then. It's not like we're looking back at a past war. This is ongoing. I'm sure you guys saw the story. ICE came out and gave a report that they had to let a known rapist go in Boston, in the Boston area. Despite our filing an immigration detainer, the individual was released back into the community by the criminal court. So our courts are letting us down. Our policy to diminish and emasculate ICE is letting us down, and it's leaving people, Democrats and Republicans, vulnerable on the streets, which just make other people, like I bring up that Charlemagne the God who came out and said, everywhere I go, people are talking about the border and illegal immigration. It hits everybody.
It does indeed. Apparently the Republicans who run the House and run that committee had invited Mr. Mayorkas to speak yesterday. And he said, I can't do it yesterday, but I can do it any other day. And they said, no, you got to be there. Obviously, they wanted him to be there in the room to hear the testimony from the two moms. And they said, nope, you're not going to appear in person. Just send us a written statement. What's interesting about the dynamic now is, you know, the Republicans did not have the votes to pass this last year. Now, things are really stirred up. There's a possibility they still don't, but they're closer to being able to impeach him. The problem with a lot of moderate Republicans is the standard for impeachment is high crimes and misdemeanors. What is the high crime he committed other than simply following a policy? That's not a crime. The policy was established by Joe Biden and his administration.
I think the one thing people would point to is you got a guy who's lied on Border Patrol agents, accused him of whipping when he knew it wasn't true because there's leaked memos that show that the secretary knew that was not true.
Joe Biden said the same thing.
He just literally lied on my state and the military, the Texas military, as well as Texas DPS. There's now correspondence showing that he knows that it wasn't true, that Texas did not allow those migrants to drown in the water with the mother, the 2 kids, that Mexican authorities could have saved them. And he won't even face the parents that have lost children because of his policy. So I just think he should be impeached for not doing his job.
It is a crime to come into our country illegally. And when you allow that to happen as an administration, then you are involved in that crime, too.
Aiding and abetting.